Welcome to this Google Sheets tutorial. In today's video, I'll cover everything you need to know to get started with Google Sheets, from creating a new spreadsheet to collaborating with others. Let's dive in. To begin, make sure you are logged in with your Google account. Once you are in, there are multiple ways to create a new spreadsheet. One way is to open Google Drive and click the plus sign. Then in the drop-down menu choose Google Sheets. Another way is to go directly to Google Sheets and click on the plus sign to create a blank spreadsheet. Here you can also explore the template gallery for pre-designed sheets tailored to various needs. However, if you are in a hurry, you can just type sheets.new in the address bar and it will land you directly on a new spreadsheet. How fancy is that? Once you've created your spreadsheet, start by giving it a name. On the right of your spreadsheet name, you will find a few buttons. Clicking on the star will add your spreadsheet to the Start section on Google Drive and Google Sheets for quick access. The second button gives you a convenient option to move your spreadsheet to a specific folder right from here, and if you click on the Cloud button you can check your document's status, and here you can also choose to be able to edit it offline. While you are working online, Google Sheets autosaves your work regularly. If you choose to work offline, Google will update and save your changes once you are back online. Now let's take a moment to explore the menus. The File menu provides multiple options for sheet management. Aside from the basic options, here you can download your spreadsheet, review history and previous versions, and also send the spreadsheet by email. The Edit menu contains basic editing functions. Most of them can also be done with keyboard shortcuts. The View menu lets you customize your workspace. For example, you can choose to hide the grid lines, which is an elegant way to present data on charts and dashboards. You can also hide and unhide the formula bar and so on. The following menus contain more complex features. I will cover them in another tutorial. Moving on to the tools, familiarize yourself with the toolbar for formatting options, data filter, functions and more. Below the tools bar, you will find the formula bar. The formula bar will always show the formula written in the selected cell, while the cell will show the actual value, the end result of the formula. At the bottom of the screen, you will see the sheets. Google Sheets allows you to have multiple sheets within a single spreadsheet. You can add or remove sheets, navigate between them, and manage your data more efficiently. Let's review the main working area now. By default, the new spreadsheet comes with 26 columns, from A to Z, and 1,000 rows. You can adjust them based on your specific requirements by adding or removing rows and columns. You can also resize them, move them around, and hide them. You can also group more columns by selecting them. Right-click on your mouse and navigate to the bottom to view more column options, then choose Group Columns. By doing this you can hide and unhide multiple columns or rows with one click. Another interesting tip is freezing rows or columns, but let's learn that through an example. I'll put a simple example here. Let's say we are selling books online and we would like to record the revenue month by month. I'll add the months in the first column and the revenue in the second column. In the first row, I'll type in the titles. Month. Revenue. Now let's say we want to see the data for the last 3 years, but writing them all will take a lot of time. Thankfully, Google Sheets recognizes dates, so I'll add the first 2 months of the period I want to be covered, and then select them both and drag this little blue square down to as many rows as we have months to show. This way Google will create the remaining months for that period. Then I'll add the revenue values in the second column. In reality, we would have those numbers and enter them here, but for our example, I would just add the first two values and then I'll also drag down to the bottom of our data. You see that Google followed the pattern of increasing the values for the same amount as we had in the first two rows. Let's randomize this data a bit. I would select some of the cells with the values and then right-click More Cell Actions and choose Randomize Range. You can see how Google has shuffled the data across the rows. Another thing I would usually do is put a sum of the revenue here at the top so it can be easily seen all the time. I'll add a row here. To start writing a function, type in the equal sign, and it will open a drop-down with a list of different functions. For our current needs, we will use the sum function. So type in sum, open brackets, and select the first cell of the range we would like to sum, or just type in the cell reference. In our case it's B3. Then type the colon sign and choose the last cell. If you would like the sum to update each time you add a month in the future, you can just type in the column letter without specifying a row. This way it will sum up the whole column. Now I would like to freeze up to this second row so I can always see the sum. This way I can scroll through the data while the title and the sum value always remain shown on the screen. In case you need horizontal scrolling of big data, you can do the same with freezing columns as well. Having big data can be hard to read, so the simplest way to enhance it a bit is by formatting the table. You can do it manually or you can use alternating colors and choose from the suggested styles. You can also further adjust the chosen style, and let Google know if you would like to highlight a header or a footer depending on your data. I would also bold the titles and the sum, and add a currency sign. I'll also add 2 decimals to the values. Now our data looks visually appealing and easy to read. Last but not least, sharing and collaboration. It's the reason I love Google Sheets. It allows you to collaborate in real time, meaning that you and the people you have shared your spreadsheet with can work on it at the same time. When collaborators are active and working on the sheet, you will be able to see their Google profile picture in the upper right icons. You will also be able to see which cell they are working on at the moment to avoid editing the same cell at the same time. You can share your spreadsheet by clicking on the Share button. Invite your collaborators and set permissions for viewing, commenting, or editing. It's a fantastic way to work together seamlessly. That concludes our basic Google Sheets tutorial. We've covered the basics and I encourage you to explore further on your own and let me know your questions in the comments. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.